Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts.
This looks like the place. No, I haven't felt this high strung since Horizon Point. Just hope he's here.
Niles. Has my mind been set upon by shadows? I thought you dead.
Can't imagine why you think that. I've only been gone 4 years.
Oh, back from your little saunter then, are you? Head all cleared? I must say you took quite the perambulation. I hope you didn't wear out your rotation adapters.
Zeb, this is the commander I told you about. One in charge of the Horizon Point mission.
Ah, yes. The same commander who nobly ordered you to leave your colleague to perish under rubble. No. I only dealt with the bloody aftermath. So, you are keeping company these days. Just not mine. That would depend on what vision you have for Arcadia's future. Everyone seems to think they alone know what's best for this colony.
Look, I'm not just here to gas you up with empty. I want to set things right between us.
Oh, now you want to help. Where were you when the war happened? Or when I was being carted off to mental refreshment? Where were you when I actually needed you?
I know I let you down before, but give me a chance to earn back your trust. There must be something I can lend you a hand with. I know you haven't given up the fight.
I haven't the time to patch your bleeding conscience, Niles. I'm in a situation that demands my full attention.
It's been caught. Pharaoh and March are dead. Protectorate are holding the rest for interrogation. A ship is inbound to take us off-world, to the consul himself. I barely managed to evade capture. Damn it! It looks like the data went through, but there's something wrong with the connection. The cipher isn't transmitting.
Found her! You there! Step away from that terminal at once!
Audra! Fuck! It's all coming apart.
I knew something was wrong. What have you gotten yourself into here, Zeb?
That was one of my operatives. I organized a mission to infiltrate the Vox to acquire valuable intelligence. But obviously, something's gone wrong. Without that cipher, the intelligence is worthless. But I'm more concerned about my people at the moment. If you're sincere in your desire to help, prove it. Rescue my friends before that ship departs with them on board. Please.
I am. Without question.
Okay. If they're sending a ship, that means my people are being held on the Vox's landing pad. Use my call sign so they'll know you for an ally. I'm certain Niles remembers it. And do exercise discretion, as well as caution. The guards at the Vox won't hesitate to fire upon you, should you be discovered.
Not to worry. This is exactly the sort of thing we're trained to handle.
Yes, but the uniform doesn't stop bullets, as I'm sure you recall.
Good thing we know a doctor then.
I'll answer what I can. If you must know, it was my sister. A neighbor reported her for some misconduct and she was taken to be refreshed. I never heard what her alleged crime was meant to be. The woman who returned was nigh unrecognizable. The injustice of it rattled me. And once I began to look into what had happened, the more discomfort I felt. Then I met Niles. He told me the truth about other colonies. Made Arcadia feel so small, claustrophobic, repressive. And my smoldering resentments became a full conflagration. Stop there. I know what you would ask, but I've done my best to put that unpleasant experience behind me. Please respect my wish to avoid reopening closed wounds. The Crabbles? They keep people away who might otherwise stumble into my operation here. I feel kindly toward them. Ah, of course. Hogarth and his unfortunate charges would be top of mind if you've explored the nearby settlement. I sympathize with the plight of those in Westport. They want nothing to do with me, of course, or anyone outside the Sovereign's grace, which has been to my benefit. I do believe that one day, the truth of the Protector's iniquity will be too obvious to ignore. But for now, not even a crowbar could pry open all those shut eyes.
Avoid me if I understand any of this. DeVries sold us out for what? Because of a few equations? Some dots and lines on a graph? Good fucking law. I mean, she wasn't a damn scientist. She said it herself. She didn't understand all of it, the math. So what was she thinking? How can you be so even-tempered about this? I know you didn't know her like I did. Like I thought I did, but she betrayed us. She killed our friends, Commander. Damn it! I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to just leave it alone. Told myself, no point in dredging up the past. Should have known it wouldn't rest. DeVries may have saved me on Triangulum, but I wasn't the only one looked up to her. Lots of the other recruits talked about her too, back at the academy. Y'all thought she was the pinnacle of what an agent should be. Tough, smart, Ain't a job she couldn't get done. And better and faster than everyone else. Inspired all of us. Reckon so. Some might embarrassing how much worship we all put on her name. You put a tool in my hand, I would have built monuments to her. Figured my own career could be just that. Doing for others what she done for me. Never imagined I'd actually get to work with her. Me, some nobody from Triangular. And then she betrayed us. Tried telling myself it was an accident, but now we've got the cold, hard proof it wasn't. Law only knows why she trusted the order's numbers. Nice, plan-abiding folks don't kill for the betterment of their cause. Can't believe the Order plotted our murder. But 10 years ago, I would have said the same about DeVries. I mean, she always struck me as so pragmatic, real sensible-like. Never figured she'd go all in on predictions from a bunch of monks. Done some good too. Even I can admit that not everyone following the plan is a fanatic. But when those beliefs start to require hurting others, even killing them, that's worth questioning their virtue. No, didn't even know DeVries was alive until she brought the satellite down. Until then, what kept me going was mostly training and stubbornness. And Val. But to your point, holding someone who's wronged you accountable for their actions ain't an act of vengeance. Some might call it justice. You forget we're on the same side here, Commander? I'm not the only one DeVries wronged. She robbed you of 10 years of your life. Don't you want recompense for that? No. But it might keep her from stealing more years from someone else. Or doing worse still. Whatever her plans, she started putting them in place while stationed undercover at the Vox Relay. Our next point of order ought to be getting in there. Reckon there's got to be someone on the island who can help us with that. Let's keep asking around. Friendly like.
Do you always put your hands on other people's things? If there's anything I can do to support your endeavor, I will.
You're missing the part where you get blown halfway to the void and back.
I'd like to help, but I fear I lack the supplies at the moment to ply my craft. Try Fairfield. The doctor there is competent. Miserly, but competent.
No.
Enthusiastically enthusiastic, ready to assist with agents' help.
Trigger finger's still tired, ready to waste him. On your command. I'll take care of him, Commander.
Emergency protocols ready. You are leaking an alarming amount of fluids, Commander.
Where you headed?
Vai. Det! Nej. Ja. Ja, nu ska jag hjälpa.
Seeing Zeb again went different than I expected. Not that I had high hopes for tears and confetti, but damn. That's appreciated, Commander. Maybe I ought have apologized straight away. But I'm not convinced I did the wrong thing, leaving. Had I stayed, who knows? Likely I'd have gotten us both killed. Let's just say my ambitions were bigger than my talents after I recovered from Horizon Point. Still believed I could change the world back then. Anyway, I appreciate the check-in, Commander. Was there anything else you needed? Sure. Always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind?
Right. Ja. Nästa. Na jó drága, de extra holster. Uh-huh. Hol lehet nikotint csinálni? Hmm. Ó. És ez mi ez? Innen... Nagyon mindegy. Mi volt benne? Mies. Hmm.
Consider our arbiter training facility east of Fairfield near the Bluffton Spire. It is impervious to infiltration thanks to its unflagging automechanical guardians. Only the most incautious base individuals would dare set foot within sensor range. Let them. Prudence dictates. Those who live solely for themselves.
Sit or sprint? Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the sprag race. Just didn't account for all these crabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight, live lean off all these supplies, hope the crabbles skedaddle. Or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea. Nah, it's a great idea.
almost missed the routine certitude of my assigned profession.
Meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious.
How empty are the lives of anti-subjects that they need to arrange consumerism to find meaning?
Hogy lehet elrakni a fejét?
Well, it's infected. Meds don't arrive soon, we'll have to start cutting. You walked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. Don't suppose you have any medical supplies to spare, do you? That you might kindly consider donating? Oh, no thank you. Not looking for anything that does more harm than good. I have enough ailments to manage already. From what I've heard about Auntie's medicaments, might poison a patient or cause them to grow an extra head or something. Never know what they're testing out on you. Honestly? Well, I'm a reasonable judge of character, and you seem upright. On behalf of my patients and I, thank you. We're all grateful. Guess outsiders aren't all just base individualists like they say on the wireless. Barring this being some tricky sales strategy, that is. This is a good start, but I fear it won't last long. Wouldn't happen to know a reliable means to procure more, would you? Oh, they'd just take us all in? Provide us with all the food and medicine and housing we'd ask for, would they? Doesn't align with how I've heard them depicted on the wireless. You almost make that sound reasonable. Under a highly skewed, morally vacuous light. Not seeing a wealth of options here at present. I can watch my patients die, then face execution, or we can resettle elsewhere and remain alive. I lean toward the latter. The abandoned section of Westport ought to have some supplies. Should be enough medicaments down there to help our injured survive the trip to Fairfield. It's perilous, though.
A 4 darab.
Well now, that should do nicely. Thank you. Hope those Crabbles didn't give you too much trouble. I recognize these patients require more care than I'm able to provide here. Seems like in Fairfield, I can get them the help they require. The one last additional thing we'll need is for Vigilant Hogarth to agree to it. It's less a concern about disloyalty and more my respect for his abilities. He's a skilled leader, and we could sorely use his aid, from coordinating logistics to keeping up morale. I'll surely have my hands full with my patients. His presence on the journey would save lives. See you when I see you.
ده
Can't imagine telling Hogarth I'm leaving. Believe I'd feel additionally traitorous once I met his gaze. You've returned.
I wish everyone's neighbor Prudence was my actual neighbor. Except my domicile is presently underwater.
Those pills were magnificent. Are they part of a new paradigm? Can I get enough for the whole family? Or even just more for me? Please.
Prudence dictates we leave the burden of thought to our betters.
Greetings.
The system is resilient.
It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please, let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance.
Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts.
I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence, automech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
Epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it, and the sovereign embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance.
We are of like minds. We lack not the skill to do so. Our wily chief mechanist can reprogram the mech, but not without parts. Unfortunately, we lack ready availability of said parts.
Sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation.
Oh, you failed to hear the loudspeakers on the way in? The announcements were obliged to repeat incessantly. Well, allow me to paraphrase. Protectorate law finds us guilty of treason on account of letting Westport fall prey to Auntie's choice saboteurs.
Rightly appreciate it all, and thank the sovereign.
You are the raw material.
These fine and decent folk don't deserve having their lives thrown away on account of my failures. If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the arbiters might see fit to penalize only me, commute the others' sentences, allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such.
Half this town is underwater and the rest soon to follow. Maybe instead of looking to those who left you to drown, it's time to accept an offered hand. One from Fairfield, maybe?
Fairfield? Why, they're the reason we're in this mess. You'll forgive me for questioning such timely offers of generosity and kindness. No thank you, not interested. I owe it to every single person here to try.
Sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those nettles.
What sort of payment do you seek? Don't imagine we have much you need.
Auntie's choice. Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system abides. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain.
Enough to lead and inspire those who work there, once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask?
Dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Gray gone astray? Book a stay today.
Difficult place to saunter into. Station's off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in.
And or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south, but do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or
Farewell now.
food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need.
Hello. Come here often. Goodbye. This unit enjoyed our banter.
Thank the sovereign.
Na, hol az a küldetés? Ja.
Ah, the itinerant stranger returns.
From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant.
Farewell now.
All fulfill our duty.
Well, look who it is. What is it? Speak your mind.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources
Farewell now.
fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it,
Hey, Commander. Could I have a word with you real quick? I hope you're not seriously considering helping the Protectorate here. I know these folks seem on the down and out, but we're as like to do more harm than good by siding with them. Right. Okay. Well, if we do as Milverstreet's asked and convert the populace to Auntie's choice, they're more likely to get the care they need and not be sentenced to death. Milverstreet also promised us a way into the Vox. Oh, and a Ritzy hat. Man drives a hard bargain, if he can be trusted. Reviving Westport would anger some folks back in Fairfield, but there's no question the Vigilant could help us get into the Vox station a whole heck of a lot easier. Guess it's south then.
Its current work task takes priority over conversation. Farewell.
To govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulous marvel where each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those nettlesome raptidons, or the base individualists within Auntie's choice. Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system abides. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it.
All these vexatious disruptions keep befalling. The sovereign provides. The system abides.
But prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate
Injuries detected. Please seek medical assistance prior to loss of consciousness. How may this unit assist you, Commander?
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbor.
Choice sure sounds exhausting. I mean, you have to...
Anyone who wants to train at the Arbiter's facility.
We're just the allies in our predetermined profession.
So the sovereign to let us become tiny cogs in the great war machine.
Out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Here on Earth, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant
De
atmosphere,
ne essél le, hát hülye.
resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those nettlesome raptidons, or the base individualists within Auntie's choice. Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system abides. But now, more than ever,
Outside.
Extra added zeal for now.
Don't suppose you checked in with Vigilant Hogarth yet, eh? Oh, glad to hear. Probably sprung an important task on you afterwards, I'd wager. I mentioned to the Vigilant how I'd reset my chef mech to prepare meals to my liking. Next thing you know, he puts me in charge of repairing all the mechs in Westport. Not exactly. All the underlying logic's the same, if you mull it over. I've been trained to run them big algae processing units, which were a fair amount more complex. It's just... subjects are expected to mind their assigned area and particular forte. So I was a mite taken aback. But I am happy to help the system abide any way I am able.
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it, and the sovereign embodies
Outsider.
human societies were
Why, hello. Whatever can I do you for? I think he's bearing up admirably, given recent events. Which, of course, are completely fine, and we are all in no way concerned about. The system being resilient and all. Hogarth's reliable as the Arcadian sun. I mean, I know it'll burn out in about 12 billion years and all, but considering our meager lifespan, that's plenty dependable enough for me. Not to indulge in idle talk, but things have been different around here of late. Not at all overwhelmed or terrified of dying, though, of course. The system abides.
We take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
Curativist Row is a fine sort. Pillar of our community. Might impatient, sure, but with how busy she is, we'd all do well to respect her time. Watch out for that wine-trot fellow. Talk your ear off if you let him. Kinda lonesome, but doesn't let anybody near his place for some reason. Even before the flooding. Everybody else? Decent enough, I guess.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem.
Much to do, truly. Toughest challenge now is upkeep of key apparatus. If that generator goes, for instance, doubt I have means to fix it. We lose power to charge our mechs, this place is done for. Final nail in the coffin, or similarly minded metaphor of your choosing. Not that the paradigm would allow that, of course. Even if I did ever fall prey to such treacherous whimsy, you think I'd be fool-headed enough to admit it to a stranger? Look like I've been kicked by an automech or something? I mean, void damn. Vigilant Hogarth's still here. No matter how bad it gets, keeps us going. Keeps us right. Folks like him prove the paradigm is aligned with the Architect's plan. Just gotta trust the rightful guidance of the Vigilance and the Sovereign.
We must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever. But prudence dictates.
Funny. I reckon that's more true of them over in Fairfield. They love their substandard comestibles and lack of fellowship. Smacks a bit of conspicuous inveiglement to me. Sure feel sorry for them. Maybe someday after we, well, utterly crush their forces and disprove their bent philosophy, we can show them all a right, better way to live. What? Oh, yes. Goodbye. Do me a favor. Keep out from underfoot. And away from that generator. Need it running to power our mechs. Anyhow, what do you need? I assume those are approved Protectorate announcements, correct? With everyone's neighbor prudence and the like? I mean, sorry. Of course they are. Loudspeaker control terminal is in the proclamation station, a few structures over. One with the antenna. I suspect they go there.
Epitomizes the pinnacle of
Well, mechs do all the heavy work for us in the Protectorate. Just like each of us, each type of mech has their assigned specialty. Takes a little doing, but you can readjust them. The combat mech can be reconfigured to oversee comestible distribution, for instance. Or mine or harvest crops. All you need is the know-how to retool their subroutines. And the right parts. Plenty of parts. Granted, reprogrammed mechs are never as efficient as those specially made for a role, but they get by, eventually, after a fashion. What? Oh, yes. Goodbye.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted.
Why, hello. Whatever can I do you for? Outsider.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The nation's flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a vast, complex ecological a meticulously designed marvel. If each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty, naturally sometimes challenges too complex. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most
What do you mean you're leaving? Ship's over. I have a life outside this place, you know.
A life outside commencing termination.
Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! Ah, it's warm. Hello there. You wouldn't happen to have found any usable parts in all this debris? Westport's stockpiles of replacement parts are nearly depleted. I need to find some parts to convert some of our auto mechanicals. Non-combat parts. Fortunately, there's nothing here that's salvageable. Auntie's bombs sure take their toll, don't they? Likewise.
Vai.
And please inform me if you happen upon any usable parts. There must be at least a few usable parts in here. Ah, it's warped. Just like everything else.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when. Just shooting in the thin air. You're the ones you need to worry about. Combat.
Protocols not yet charged. Standing by with
Commander, watch your vitals. Ready to waste them on your command. Hey, what in the... Oh, are you still upright over there?
ready to assist agent's health needs. This unit advises healing yourself now.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest
Why, hello. Whatever can I do you for?
fulfill our duty to the Protectorate.
I assume those are approved Protectorate announcements, correct? With everyone's neighbor prudence and the like? I mean, sorry. Of course they are. Loudspeaker control terminal is in the proclamation station, a few structures over. One with the antenna. I suspect they go there. Not to indulge in idle talk, but things have been different around here of late. Not at all overwhelmed or terrified of outsider.
Matriarch, working with and through the Sovereign, devised the paradigm.
The matriarch and sovereign chose Eden, the perfect.
If each of us
Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbors. I may just invite him over to make a great way to maintain it.
to arise, we all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust.
Eu.
ecosystem, like those nettlesome raptidons, or the base individualists within Auntie's choice. Though don't fret, the system is
Literally everything I own is underwater.
more than ever. We must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever. But prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Feeling distracted. You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Perfect ecosystem.
What do you mean you're leaving? Ship's over. I have a life outside this place, you know.
A life? Outside our lab? No!
Got some bad company.
Audacious advances requires commitment! Absolute commitment! Ah! Quarterly review. Because I took action on all my action items.
Enemy about.
Excuse me?
Lock this. Ready to wait. On your command. Look at a few courts low, command.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Yes, bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those meddlesome raptidons or the base individualists within Andy's choice.
What do you mean you're leaving? Ship's over. I have a life outside this place, you know.
Guns cocked and loaded. Get the signal.
Not ready.
You look like a regular doctor.
Remember, you are the lady. He does not advance at this time.
Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! Ah, it's warm. Hello there. You wouldn't happen to have found any usable parts in all this debris? Westport's stockpiles of replacement parts are nearly Fortunately, there's nothing here that's salvageable. Auntie's bombs sure take their toll, don't they? Let's just say to fill Westport's needs. If you follow the road heading north, you can't miss it. Used to be a sight to behold, but the war hasn't been kind to it. To any of us. True enough. A few years ago, I couldn't have imagined us running short of anything. And now here I am, digging through scrap for parts. But I digress. Was there anything else? Need to get back to my hunt, you understand? Yes and no. The bomb certainly took a fierce toll, but I suspect these were all in various states of disrepair even before Andy's offensive, which has made sorting out where to begin my efforts here rather difficult. There should be a manifest somewhere, but it's nowhere to be found. Nor are the troopers who should have been escorting this. Or their bodies. The only species in these parts that would pose such a threat to an armed escort squad would be crabbles. But the guard at Westport has always made a point of culling them with automechs so they don't get out of hand. That is more than likely a safe wager. Who knows what kind of new terror they faced at the end of their lives. Unless I missed my guess, this looks like it was transporting damaged and malfunctioning automechs from the Vox station to the Automech Repair Center to the south of here. The center is... Say, you don't work for Andes, do you? This is beginning to feel more than a little like you're digging for intelligence. Fair enough. As I was saying, the Automech Repair Center is south of here. Regrettably, subjects of Westport no longer have access to the repair center, hence my need to scavenge. Unless I miss my guess, the center is... Say, you don't work for Antes, do you? This is beginning to feel more than a little like you're digging for intel. Fair enough. As I was saying, the Automech Repair Center is south of here. Let's just say to fill Westport's needs. If you follow the road heading north, you can't miss it. Used to be a sight to behold, but the war... True enough. But I digress. Was there anything else? Need to get back to my hunt, you understand? Yes and no. Which is mate, nor are the troopers who should have been escorting this. Where are their bodies? These were stalwart defenders of the Protectorate we're talking about here. Not the spineless stumblewits that comprise the forces of Anti's choice. No. Some other unfortunate fate has befallen them. Could have been any manner of terror brought upon us by Antis. Likewise. And please inform me if you happen upon any usable parts. There must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! Ah, it's warped. Just like everything else. Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Ah, it's warped. Looks like everything. Everything else.
Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendlies.
Hey, got a distraction for you. I'm the one you need to worry.
Emergency protocol syringes primed.
Appreciate a little help, Commander.
Knew you had my back.
Engaging combat protocols.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here? Oh, jeez. Weren't you paying attention? This is the Automech Repair Center. The name itself encompasses our mission, our identity, and our purpose. And if you weren't already aware of us, I'm guessing you have no business here.
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking Protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for Zynarium gas. We sprung a leak. Nothing too bad, aside from the headaches, nightmares, missing teeth, and headaches. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers. You're free to pass, stranger.
Dictates, we cherish what we have and defend it.
Outsider? All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
What in the name of the architect? Oh, right. My guards told me to expect a new arrival, right before our chief mechanist decided to harangue me with the latest on our catastrophe.
Marshal, you're acting as though I'm not standing here auguring the impending doom of this facility.
Woodrow, normally I would be obliged, nay, happy, to receive your senseless jawing. But not today. Perhaps this outsider can assist where you've failed. I hope you've come to help, because a crisis is bearing down on us, and I've a dearth of reliable hands with which to manage it. We may or may not have what you need. Speak with Hazel, our ever-reliable and ever-resourceful quartermaster. Like you, me and my consternated head technician are new arrivals, though we may not last long if we fail to repair the Zynarium leak. I wouldn't have put it in those terms, but I appreciate someone who speaks their mind. The Vox relay station needs our automechs. But until that leak is fixed, this facility is a target for the sport of Auntie's armaments. Delphinia Bryant is working on a prototype Zynarium shield. Whoever uses it will be less disposable and more useful to the Protectorate. What did I tell you, Woodrow? The situation's well in hand.
Marshal, those automechs have been corrupted with Zynarium. I can't even cogitate on what they're capable of if we lack the time or resources to approach this rationally. Should they go berserk, we may well be turning the very subject you intend to resupply into their victims. We'd be branded as traitors.
Then perhaps you had better explain to Brigadier Montelli why his defenses are grounded. And you can do so personally, in the comfort of his office.
Montelli? I rescind my objection. May the delicate workings of the paradigm point us toward a better way.
There's a good fellow. Cleave to your loyalty, and it will never steer you wrong.
Oh, unfamiliar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving. And then you walk in. Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies, talk to my friend the quartermech here. You'd think that a fully stocked auto-mechanical repair center would have automech parts, and 9 times out of 10 you'd be spot on. Trouble is, a bunch of supplies went missing recently, right around the time the quartermech completed a routine inventory. As a matter of fact, yes. Recently, when the crates by the wall got too high, it began stacking supplies on the catwalk above.
Protectorate automechanicals feature advanced construction but low adaptability. Fall-throughs in its logic assembly would likely lead it to interpret its programming.
It can be a funny thing, you understand. One misstep can have the most peculiar results. Delphinia's lab would be the place to search. We use it for storage, and our records indicate the supplies were present and accounted for.
Standard Earth Directorate protocol calls for a thorough grid search of the premises, Commander. Those parts are bound to turn up somewhere.
Are you acquainted with Delphinia? She's a scientist on loan from the Vox Relay, helping with the Zynarium leak and all. Delphinia is not very nice. Or maybe she just doesn't like me personally. Anyway, she's very talented, and I'm glad she's helping out. And I'm never going within 10 feet of her again. Best of luck in your search. Let me know if I can be of assistance. See you soon, I hope.
There's anything to gain by getting near it.
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now what is it you want? Quite busy, as I said, and less pleased for this unscheduled work suspension. Now, did you have some business here? Ah, our good Marshal sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. A number of factors. Zynarium is dangerous, and we wouldn't want a researcher falling victim to their subject of study. The scarcity of volunteers is also a problem. Everyone wants to fix the gas leak, but no one wants to step inside a hazardous vapor. Now tell me, are you familiar with Zynarium gas? Perhaps I should take that as a no. I could speak at length about Zynarium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zynarium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good. Wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zynarium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zynarium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zynarium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of Zynarium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo! Ah, my little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? Now that you mention it, there was one particularly insistent little mech who kept trying to put all manner of bric-a-brac in here. After several firm remonstrations, I told it the interior of this building is off-limits while I am working here. Didn't see that peculiar little scamp again after that. Until a more convenient date and time.
Outsider?
Not sure we should get any closer.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have. Defend first the attack, then there's Zynarium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Zynarium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced paralysis, then became atypically aggressive.
Were you successful? I have tests that can be started immediately if so. What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zynarium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. Capital deduction! Where have you been all my career? You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. Don't be silly. Automechs, like the human body, are made of many parts. A liver won't do the job of the heart. Unfortunately for me, our chief mechanist, Woodrow, wasn't enthusiastic about my proposal to gild his only combat automech. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zynarium poisoning. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
First the attack, then there's Zynarium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Nice weather we have been having, or not having. Goodbye.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zynarium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. You'll want to see the quartermaster. She's right next to the gate you entered through, under the marshal's office. She'll only be able to sell you our surplus, but you might find some of it useful.
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What about you?
Zynarium poisoning. Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment to study my symptoms.
Sovereign's mercy. How do you feel?
Downright privileged is how I feel. Sick with pride, nauseous with courage, and chronically fatigued with honor.
Outsider?
Oh, a new arrival. Oh, and what's this? You, I dare say, are exhibiting clear signs of Zynarium exposure, stranger. Fortunately for you, you appear to have a fairly mild case. I imagine you haven't even noticed any symptoms yet. If you'd indulge me, I have a few questions I'd like to ask, for medical posterity, and so on and so forth. I'm afraid I require more information before I can render treatment. That will ensure you get the care you need, and it will only cost your time. First question, can you describe the conditions in which you were exposed to the Zynarium? Ah, another assistant. Should have guessed. I suppose I should be grateful for all the data she sends my way, but I do wish Dell would think more of her collaborators' well-being. All right, next question. How are you feeling? For instance, Do your bones seem noticeably softer somehow? Have you observed any sterility on your way in? Or aching in your thyroid or spleen? Well, good for you. Keeping a positive attitude can often aid your recovery. I wish more of my patients shared your optimistic disposition. As promised, you're due a round of advanced Zynarium therapy of the highest possible quality. Apologies for any severe discomfort you may have experienced in the interim. There, that should do it. Do stop back in if you suffer additional exposure. I would love, be pleased to act as your consulting physician again, should the need arise. Don't have much to spare, but you're free to have a look. Well, look who it is. What is it this time? Oh, gladly. I've rather dedicated my life to researching its unique form of matter. What would you like to know? Zynarium is a crystal. Even in its raw form, it generates energy. But once refined and stored in a quasi-gaseous state, its output increases exponentially. Zynarium is found in a liquid state as well, but it's far too hazardous and inefficient for our needs. Refined Zynarium is used to power nearly all major Protectorate technology. It's an amazingly efficient power source. However, it's also highly unstable and must be mined exceedingly carefully. Even minor bumps or jolts can cause Zynarium crystals to explode. Zynarium in its default crystalline state poses two risks. First, it's extremely volatile, exploding with an immense burst of energy if upset in any way. Second, Zynarium crystals produce a small amount of gas, which we think helps stabilize its crystalline lattice, but that's just a theory. In this gaseous state, Zynarium is quite hazardous, breaking down organic matter through a mechanism we still don't quite understand. The concentration of the gas is a critical factor. A person could remain in a light haze for several minutes, whereas a dense cloud can kill near instantly. Anyhow, I could talk about this all day if I let myself. Hope I haven't bored you unduly. Was there anything else I could help you with? Total avoidance is best, but try to get out of the Zynarium as quickly as you can if exposure becomes necessary. Come to think of it, there may be some exciting new breakthroughs in the near future. Our visiting scientist next door is working on a device that shields the user from Zynarium's effects, though she was having a spot of trouble last I heard.
Welcome. Glad to have you back.
Ambient Zynarium levels are higher than average, but within acceptable ranges. State your business. All wares should be perfectly visible already.
Sorry, it tends to take things too literally. Maybe try phrasing the request differently.
Lull detected. Conversational status uncomfortable.
Does that one compute, big guy?
Affirmative. Initiating commerce is one of this unit's default commands. Initiating commerce.
Yes? She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand, the original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. That's a fair point. It's not as if they've come back to finish the job. Perhaps they assume we're already beaten. All right, how's about we get the Dragoon situated over here, so I can extract its vital organ? One catalytic amplifier as agreed. I hate to lose another Dragoon, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Not a chance. Donaldson has done everything in his power to get this facility online. He can't blame me for doing the same. Be seeing you, stranger.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zynarium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. Don't thank me. Just doing my part for the sake of the paradigm, same as anyone.
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Whether or not you're able to help us, I'm grateful to have an extra set of eyes on the problem. Zynarium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. I knew Dr. Bryant would come through for us, that she'd prove her worth as surely as any subject of the Protectorate would. Seeing as you're the only one trained in the use of that gadget, what say you put it through its paces? Make your way inside the repair hangar and find the control terminal to purge the Zynarium. And be careful with that terminal. We don't want the situation getting any worse. Don't worry about Woodrow. Smart fellow, but his cautious nature gets in the way. Yes, there is some risk that exposure to Zynarium will corrupt our automechs, to use his colorful language. That shouldn't stop us from delivering them on time. I'm sure they'll be scrubbed clean once they arrive at the Vox relay. But that isn't our problem to solve. You be sure and come back once you've made progress on the leak.
First the attack, then there's Zynarium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Standing by with life support.
Locate target.